want to do is move on to deconstructing the actual shape of your features. And so I'm going to go back into preview, but again, if you have a printer and you're using a hard copy, then you would just do this on your actual paper. So I want to break down each feature. I'm going to go ahead and start with the eyes. Now, if you remember from drawing the eyes, we know that we can break the eyelid down into 3 different lines. So I'm going to start off by finding what those lines are. Let me change a color here to make it easier to see. I'm going to follow the shape up, 1, 2, and 3. And we also have the bottom that can be divided into 3 sections. So 1, doesn't want to let me, 2, and 3. This is going to give you a much more accurate eye shape than just going in straight away. You can also do the same thing for your eyelid. 1, 2, 3, and I see 4 sections here, so you may divide it into more or less depending on your particular eyelid or eye shape. Then I'm going to do the same thing on the other eye, because each eye is going to be different, so finding 1, 2, and really squares off here 3, and on the bottom 1, 2, and 3. Now, if you're wondering why I'm using straight lines and you're like, well, I don't look geometric like that, it's better to have things be almost robotic, drawing things in planes. In the end, it'll give your eye a lot more form, and we're going to soften a lot of those lines once we start shading later. But for now, just mapping things out, I'd rather it be overly geometric. Now let's move on to the nose. So remember, we have a few different parts of the nose. We have the bridge, the part that's coming down straight on top, that top plane. We have the side planes that form sort of the sides of our triangle or pyramid shape. We have the nose, and then we have the bottom of our nose where it's turning away from the light. So the first thing I want to do is identify the bridge of my nose, and it comes up from up here where the eyes are, and it goes straight down here, the other side. Oop, this is going to be straight. Okay. And then I want to identify the ball of the nose. So taking a circle, and I'm going to modify this. Sort of like that. Okay. And then I'm going to draw in the side plane. So from the bottom of my nostril here, where it meets the top of the bridge. Now I can't see the other side since my face is turned, but you would do the other side if you could see it. And then you'll notice on my nose that this bottom part is in shadow. So usually there will be some sort of shadow, even if it's really subtle. Now, to mark in that shadow, I'm going to mark from where the bottom of the side plane is, and I want to meet it to the ball of the nose. And this line really actually extends here to make the full bottom of the nose. So if I were to mark the whole thing, my nose as a geometric form is going to look like that. So now I can really clearly see I have the bridge, I have the side plane, I have the I have the ball of the nose, and I have the bottom of the nose. So go ahead and draw your nose in this sort of robot way. Now for the lips, I really don't want to do too much at this point. I still just want to have the crease. And what I might do is just articulate that shape a little bit more when I'm drawing, but otherwise we're just going to leave it as the Cupid's bow, the crease, and marking where the bottom of the lip is. And here you have Robot Miss O. I'm going to zoom in a bit so you can really see what I'm doing. Whoop. And zooming in here as well. So now that I know that my eye starts here at the eye line, and I've divided this into 3 sections, I want to draw this into this shape. Again, being as specific and as objective as you can be. So really asking myself, what is that angle? What is that angle? And what is that angle? And same for the bottom. What is that angle? What is that angle? And what is that angle? It might even help you to say it out loud like that. Then I'll do the same for the eyelid. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now this is going to get fine-tuned, so just stick with me for now. If you're like, Miss O, that doesn't look like me. Now let's move on to the other eye. So coming out here, 1, 2, coming down 3, then 1, 2, and 3. I forgot to do this eyelid over here, but we'll do that right now. 1, 2, 3, kind of tucks behind there, 4. The more you can zoom in and think about this not as your face, the better off you're going to be. So again, my suggestion is to perhaps turn it upside down, and if something looks wrong, again, fix it. Really take the time to try to get that shape to be as accurate as possible. Now let's go ahead and move down to the nose. So I'm going to take a look at the space between my eye, the inner corner of my eye, and where I've marked the bridge. And I'll also look at it in relation to the center line. So it's maybe about there. I'm going to go ahead and draw in this diagonal. I can use my pencil to help me figure out what that angle is, so I can put it on my photo and then bring it over to my paper. And then I'm going to mark the other line. So noticing that it just about hits where the eye is. Coming down. Now I might think of this as a shape, like a rectangle with a curved bottom here. So I might start drawing the ball of the nose lightly. Do your best not to idealize your nose. Your nose is not big. Your nose is perfectly proportioned for your face. Start with that, and then I'm going to draw this bottom curve here. That shape coming up and around. That. And trying to get that triangle to match. Now, does this look like me? Not yet, but I promise that this will make sense later. I'm going to go back in and I can see that this feels a little too wide. So I'm going to change that. This feels better. I'm going to make this a little bit more round. And just a reminder, I'm pressing down kind of hard so that you can see, but you want to draw really lightly so that these marks don't carry over into the final version. Okay. Which I did not do before, which I should have done. So noticing that it's creating this little triangle shape here, bringing this down. That's going to be the end of my mouth. This is going to be the width of my bottom lip. And then the edge of the right side of my mouth is in line with the tip of the nose. Got that in there. And then I'm going to mark in my crease and my Cupid's bow. If that is all you get done today, that is more than enough.